Good morning, I'm Amar Singh Pradhan. Let's begin with the top stories this hour. Dr. Casey ends his hunger strike, says can't let people without treatment for long and special circumstances as reasons for giving up his resistance. Government holds a joint parley with the representatives of diplomatic circle meeting in response to joint statement regarding the issues related to armed insurgency. India announces massive tax relief measures and a huge giveaway for farmers in a series of populist moves targeting upcoming elections. And Qatar clinched their first ever Asian Cup football title, Eastern Asian powerhouse Japan 3-1 in the final. Let's begin with national political updates. Dr. Govind Casey ended his 16th round of hunger strike on the 24th day of his resistance yesterday. Dr. Casey ended his fast unto death on the request of civil society representatives yesterday evening. Civil society leader Damanna Dhungana, former Chief Justice Sushila Karke and cleaning staff at the TU Teaching Hospital served juice to Dr. Casey to end his hunger strike. Casey had initiated his 16th round of hunger strike from Ilam, demanding prohibition of affiliation to private medical colleges and bringing jurisdiction of the medical programs under CTVT under the yet-to-be-established Medical Education Council, among others. Dr. Casey was flown to Kathmandu and admitted to the teaching hospital after his condition deteriorated during the hunger strike in Ilam. Former President Ram Baran Yadav, along with Nepali Congress President Sher Bahadur Deuba, had requested Dr. Casey to withdraw his resistance. Meanwhile, the Medical Education Bill has already been sanctioned by both the houses of the Parliament. The government has claimed that the bill embraces most of the issues in line with the agreement forged with Dr. Casey in the past. Dr. Casey, however, had staged the hunger strike yet again, citing that not all the points of agreement forged during the 15th round of hunger strike have been embraced in the bill. Expressing solidarity with Dr. Casey, Nepal Medical Association had sought all outpatient services across the country yesterday. Dr. Casey said that he called off his resistance, realizing the difficulty borne by patients across the country due to doctors' strike, coupled with untoward political circumstances surfaced recently. The government has held a joint meeting with the representatives of diplomatic agencies in the capital yesterday afternoon. The development has followed the government's apparent dissatisfaction against a joint statement regarding the issues related to Nepal's armed insurgency issued by ambassadors of 9 different diplomatic agencies, including UN resident representatives. At the meeting held in the presence of Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli, Foreign Minister Pradeep Gyawali briefed the ambassadors and diplomatic representatives regarding the issue. The ambassadors of 9 countries, along with UN resident representative, had unveiled a joint statement by putting forth their concerns regarding the roles of Truth and Reconciliation Commission for the investigation of enforced disappeared persons in Nepal's conflict management. The statement was issued during Prime Minister Oli's visit to Switzerland to take part in the World Economic Forum. Prime Minister Oli has been expressing discontent over the international community's approach in this regard. The government has taken the issue seriously, especially as the statement was issued with the initiative of the Swiss ambassador himself at a time when the Prime Minister was in Switzerland for the event. Prime Minister's Foreign Affairs Advisor Rajan Bhattarai, however, said that the meeting with the diplomatic envoys focused on Nepal's recent political development, the government's priorities and upcoming investment summit. Meanwhile, the government has already registered the bills on reconstruction and extension of the tenure of Truth and Reconciliation Commission at the Parliament. The press statement issued by the Foreign Ministry has stated that the foreign diplomats were informed about the ongoing peace process, transitional justice and the efforts to increase foreign investment, among others. U.S. Ambassador to Nepal Randy Berry, however, did not attend the joint meeting hosted by the government. This has been taken as an indication of a dent in bilateral relations between Nepal and the US after the ruling Nepal Communist Party co-chairman Pushpakamal Dahal's recent remark over Venezuela. Nepal's ambassador to Australia, Lucky Sherpa, has stepped down from her position amid growing controversy surrounding her position. Sherpa resigned on ethical grounds after she hit the controversy following accusations by her own personal aide, who charged her of being involved in human trafficking. Earlier, the Foreign Ministry had summoned Sherpa to Kathmandu and sought clarification regarding the issue. The investigation committee formed by the ministry to probe into the issue, however, is yet to come up with its report. Sherpa, on her part, has alleged her personal aide of trying to tarnish her character by fabricating accusations. Sherpa was appointed as the ambassador to Australia 2 years ago by the erstwhile Pushpakamal Dahal-led government. The Center for Investigation of Abuse of Authority has filed a case against Nepal Electricity Authority's Deputy Managing Director Bijaya Kumar Chaudhary, who has been charged of corruption amounting to just over 20 million rupees. The corruption watchdog has filed the case demanding a deposit amount of 21.46 million rupees and an additional fine of equal amount along with jail term. The anti-graft body has charged Chaudhary of amassing property disproportionate to his income and keeping the property in the name of his wife and others. The Judicial Council has intensified scrutiny over the activities of judges across the country. After Chief Justice Cholendra Samser Rana shouldered the leadership of judiciary, 8 judges in Biratnagar High Court have been dragged to the council, while a separate committee has been formed to prosecute justices of 2 other district courts. After suspending district judges of Lalitpur Biswamangal Atreya and Tanahu's Omkar Upadhyay, the Judicial Council has formed a 3-member committee under the coordination of Supreme Court Justice Ananda Mohan Bhattarai to probe into alleged indiscretion during justice delivery. Prosecution against Judge Atreya has been moved forward, for he was found to have acquitted a manpower agent accused of fraud without sufficient legal basis. The verdicts issued by Atreya was also found disputed in the courts other than Biratnagar High Court. The council has moved forward prosecution against Judge Upadhyay as well, citing that the preliminary investigation itself has revealed serious irregularities on his part. The council is also preparing to seek clarification from Sarlai District Judge Rajesh Kafle and Bhaktapur's Muhammad Junaid Azad within the next 7 days. Former office bearers of the Judicial Council have stressed on the need of the council to persistently and honestly live up to its responsibilities so as to do away with the anomalies facing the country's judicial sector. Hundreds of locals daily flock to the Land Revenue Office in Surkhet for different purposes, including transfer of land and property ownership, along with distribution of inherited properties, among others. The service seekers, however, have complained of being subjected to inefficiency and sluggish service delivery on the part of the office staff. In this context, we had asked the district residents visiting the Land Revenue Office what sorts of difficulties have they been facing in getting their works done on a daily basis. Let's take a look at what they have to say.
Public voice.
एउटा काम गर्न 3 दिनसम्म लगाउने परिपाटी छ.
कम्प्युटर फाट छ, एकजना मात्र कर्मचारी हुनुहुन्छ. धेरै जग्गा लेनदेन गर्ने मान्छेहरू धेरै हुन्छ, चाङको चाङ हुन्छ. जस हामी पनि म पनि यो जग्गा चाहिँ राजीनामा दिने पास दिनमा आइराखेको थिएँ. आज 4 दिन भयो. अझै काम पेया छैन.
2-4 दिन भयो अझ हिँड्ने चाहिँ हिजो त बन्द छ, अस्ति आएको आज आएछ फेरि.
2-3 दिन त आउनु पर्छ. हामी जग्गा पास गर्न आएको आज 3 दिन भइसक्यो.
जबसम्म यो दलालहरुको चकचकी रहन्छ तबसम्म यो सुविधा जनताले पाउँदैन.
पहिला फाइल खोज्नु पर्थ्यो भने अब क्लिक गरेर हाम्रो फाइलहरु खोज्नेले प्रबन्ध गर्दैछ. बिस्तारै यसको अभ्यस्त आउला. भर्खर सुरुवात भएको हुनाले कहीं कतै ढिलासुस्ती जस्तो महसुस भए पनि
काम गर्न त अहिले सारै गाह्रो नै छ हैन. पछि गएर कम्प्युटर सिस्टमले ठिकै पनि होला.
And it's now time for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with our opinion.
Public Pulse.
And your question is, how would you like to evaluate one-year term of provincial assembly? Your options are A, confused state, B, dominance of center, and C, learning phase. The voting is on. Type any WS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. And now time for sports update.
Sports news.
Qatar has lifted the Asian Cup football with a crushing 3-1 win over Japan in the tournament final played yesterday. In the title showdown played at UAE's Jayad Sports Stadium in Abu Dhabi, Qatar dominated the first half, scoring 2 spectacular goals. Almoez Ali opened the scoring for Qatar early in the match with a breathtaking overhead kick from the edge of the box. Qatar doubled the lead in the 27th minute as Abdullah Aziz found the net from 18 yards. Japan tried to come back valiantly in the second half and also managed to dominate proceedings. In the process, Asian football powerhouse did manage to reduce the deficit as Takurumi Minamino found the net. When it seemed that Japan will manage a draw with relentless pressure, Qatar converted a spot kick awarded after VAR was used against the runner play. Akram Afif made full use of the spot kick to seal the 3-1 win and the coveted Asian Cup trophy for Qatar, who are hosting the 2022 FIFA World Cup. While it was Qatar's first ever Asian Cup title, it was Japan's first defeat in the championship final. Qatar's Sadal Saib was adjudged the best goalkeeper of the tournament. Likewise, the most valuable player award went to Almoez Ali. Nepal registered a 4-wicket win over UAE in the second T20 to level the 3-match series at 1-all. Dipendra Singh Airi played a match-winning knock to guide Nepal to the series leveling victory. Electing to bat first, UAE were bowled out for a paltry score of 107 runs in 19.2 overs. Rizwan top scored for UAE with 44 runs, while there was no other useful contribution with the bat from UAE. Abhinash Bohra, who was playing his second international match for Nepal, was the pick of the Nepalese bowlers, claiming 3 wickets. Sompal Kami, Sandeep Lamichhane and Karan Keshi shared 2 wickets each for Nepal. Chasing 108 runs for victory, Nepal got off to a worst possible start, losing skipper Paras Khadka for a duck. With wickets falling at regular interval, Nepal at one stage stayed defeat with the scoreline reading 46 runs for the loss of 5 wickets in 11 overs. At this juncture, Dipendra Singh Airi struck a match-winning partnership with Pawan Saraf, adding 51 runs for the 6th wicket partnership. Dipendra remained unbeaten on 47 runs as he hit a 6 and a 4 in the last over to complete the chase. Pawan Saraf, playing his debut match, scored 18 runs. The deciding match of the T20 series will be played tomorrow. It may be recalled that Nepal has already clinched the one-day series against UAE. And before we wrap up this morning news bulletin, here's a look at the top stories one more time. Dr. KCN says hunger strike, says can't let people without treatment for long and special circumstances as reasons for giving up his resistance. Government holds a joint parley with the representatives of diplomatic circle meeting in response to joint statement regarding the issues related to armed insurgency. India announces massive tax relief measures and a huge giveaway for farmers in a series of populist moves targeting upcoming elections. And Qatar clinched their first ever Asian Cup football title, stunned Asian powerhouse Japan 3-1 in the final. And these are our latest headlines. Stay with us for more news and entertainment on KTVSD. Good day.